Welcome to my channel, Gabby on Paper. Today's video is going to be a January reset. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I have my Google Sheet here for my 2023 goals. If you didn't watch my goals video, make sure you check that out. I go over my focus areas and how I'm setting goals for 2023. Aside from setting quarterly goals, I'm also going to be setting monthly goals that work towards those quarterly goals. So that's what we'll be doing today. Typically, I start these videos by going over my previous month's goals, but this time around, I didn't set any goals for December. I was just feeling burnt out. I had a lot going on and I didn't even want to think about that. So what we'll do is we'll start with setting my goals for January. If we go back here to my quarterly goals, you'll see that my focus areas are my finances, minimalism. And minimalism, like I'm not a minimalist and I don't care to be a minimalist, but I just want to have less stuff and actually use what I have. And then adventures. So all of my goals are going to be kind of in those areas. The very first one is to listen to 6 audiobooks. I kind of fell off of this for a couple of months in 2023. I think I've kind of come back to listening audiobooks, and I want to make sure I continue that. So I'm hoping to get 6 right off the bat in January and have a strong month. Next, I want to send an extra $100 towards rent. I am hoping to get a full month ahead on all my bills and expenses by the end of the first quarter. The only thing I'm really missing right now is my rent. I'm like running one paycheck behind on rent, and I'm hoping that by the end of the third quarter, I will have sent enough extra money to be caught up. I think that amount is $568.25. Once I've sent an extra $568.25, I'll have fully caught up and I'm a full month ahead on all of my bills. So that is what I'm kind of focusing on this month. I think I'll be able to do more in February and March. It's just that in January, I'm trying to focus on a couple of sinking funds that I will use in February first. But after that, I think my focus will be my rent. Next up is I want to schedule a massage. I'm hoping to get 1 massage per quarter. We'll see how that goes. I've had the money sitting in my account since September when I was intending to get a massage, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So if I can't get a massage in January, I want to at minimum like schedule it so it's in the books. My next goal is no personal shopping, and this is going to be a really hard one for me. I have this like internal struggle of wanting just less things, but also wanting all the things. Like I really love spending money and buying things, and it's gotten a little out of hand. So I'm hoping that by having a no spend month and no spend when it comes to like shopping for clothes, accessories, shoes, and hobby stuff, that I can start the year off strong and hopefully carry some of that over to the rest of the quarter and hopefully the rest of the year. So my goal for January is absolutely no personal shopping at all. It's only 1 month, so it should be doable, but we'll see. I want to journal every day in January. I was journaling for the first half of the year in 2022, and then I don't know what happened. I just stopped doing it. I want to get back into that and actually be able to do it throughout the entire year and finish my planner/journal this year. And again, I want to start strong by doing it every single day in January. It's a good month for me to have this goal because we don't have a lot going on. I expect to be home a fair amount between not having a ton of planned activities and it just being cold in Chicago. I'm thinking I'll spend a good chunk of time at home, which will allow me to journal every day. Next, I want to sell items. I have like, let's see, 3 pairs of shoes, a cardigan, some overalls, a bag, I have a couple of things that I want to sell that I've been wanting to sell for some time, for months really, and I just haven't done it for no reason other than procrastination / laziness. So really, I want to list the items. I want to make sure they're all listed by the end of the month. If they're sold, that would be amazing. But as long as I have them up, I'll consider this a win. Next is I want to go to 2 new restaurants. We are trying to try new restaurants in Chicago since I kind of have a habit of wanting to go to old restaurants over and over. For me, like, I know what I like from these restaurants. I know I like them, so it's money well spent. That's kind of how I view it, and I enjoy them. But it is good for us to try new places. I want to go to at least 2 new restaurants in January. So I want to do 13 Peloton rides and yoga, and 14 yoga classes. I'm not saying these have to be like one day yoga, one day a Peloton ride. Like some days I may do both, some days I may do one and not the other. I just want to make sure I get that many done this month. I've really fallen off the exercise thing in the last like month and a half. And it's time to get back to it. Just when things happen in life and things come up and things get a little hard, the first thing that goes, 1 is exercise, 2 is I want to buy everything. So I'm trying to change those things and trying to change those habits, hopefully in 2023. Next is I want to apply for global entry. We don't have any trips planned right now, but it's something that I want to make sure we do at least one of this year. And along with global entry, you get like TSA pre-check, so it's all in one. My credit card that I have gives me free global entry / TSA pre-check, so I know it'll take a while to get that approved, so I want to make sure we apply for it immediately so that it's ready for when we do eventually go on a trip. And now I'm just going to take a second to color code everything just to make it pretty. So one moment. So I'm just color coding these based on the color that I assigned to them in my focus areas and in my quarterly goals. Some of them do have 2 colors because they apply to both like finances and then my minimalism, air quotes, journey. So that would be like personal shopping, because that would 1, help me with my finances, and 2, make it so I don't bring more things into my home in January if I'm not shopping. And the same thing goes for selling items. So I will get rid of items and then also hopefully bring money in. And then when we do the next reset, I'll go through, check off the goals that I accomplished, and then make any notes if needed. Like I can say, oh, I actually did 15 yoga classes in January rather than 14. Those notes will go here. Alrighty, so for the next part of this video, it's just kind of going over December, doing a little bit of a recap. Not really financial things. Well, a couple of financial things if you look at here, like the largest purchase and favorite purchase. So let's just go ahead and get into that. So this month in December, I listened to 6 books. I'm about a third into a 4th book, but I will for sure will not finish it today. And today's Saturday, December 31st. So I'm very happy with this number because I didn't think that was going to happen. I actually listened to 2 books in a matter of like 3 days. Like these past 3 days, I haven't been watching TV. I've just been listening to my books, and yeah. Let's do this. All right, my favorite book this month was the book Little Secrets. I will go ahead and insert a picture of the cover so you can see. There was another book that I was really liking called The House Across the Lake, but at the very end, it ruined it for me. There was a little tiny bit of like supernatural stuff, and I just don't care for that. That's not the type of books that I read. that's why that one didn't. Otherwise, until the very end, I think I would have preferred that one over this Little Secrets book. But I like thrillery, suspensey type books, so that's mostly what you'll see. Now, favorite TV is not something I normally do, but I can't go without mentioning it. So White Lotus, my God, that was so good. I really loved the first season. Like, I thought it was amazing until the second season. The second season to me is far superior, and I really, really love the first season. So that's saying a lot. I loved the setting. I loved the characters, the storylines, everything. I think about it all the time. I've always been a little like, not indifferent towards Italy, but there's other places in Europe that I prefer to go to. But now all I can think about is going to Europe. Sicily is an area that I've been wanting to go to for actually a very long time. It just always interested me. But now it's got to happen. If you haven't watched it, you want to check it out. It is so good. I think it's on HBO. It is on HBO. I don't think it is. I know it is. All right, next is my largest purchase, and Patagonia coat. Yes, I bought a Patagonia coat this season. I'll show you. I have it pulled up here, and it was very expensive, and I didn't plan for it, but I decided to do it. I did have a North Face coat from last winter, but honestly, I didn't think things through when I bought that coat, or when I chose that coat, I guess, because I didn't buy it. My entire life, I've been used to Utah and Utah winters, which are not that intense. They actually did have a bit of a rough December, but usually they're pretty mild. They're manageable. And then the fact that you're driving everywhere, like if I wasn't driving, my boyfriend was driving, or my sister, or, anyone. We weren't walking around and using public transportation and waiting for the bus or waiting for the train. So winters here, yes, they're more severe, but also it's just a different life that we're living now. We're not dependent on a car. Now we're dependent on public transportation, which sometimes does require a lot of waiting. So when I bought my coat, I bought it and it fit, and I was fine, but there wasn't enough room for me to layer, because that was the problem I was experiencing last summer. If I just wore it with a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt, it was fine. But then you start adding, different layers like sweaters and undershirts and then scarves and everything, and I was just tighter than I would prefer. It was just not the most comfortable thing. And so I ended up buying this Patagonia coat for this winter, and I'm really excited about it. I actually saw this coat. I'll just pull it up. This is the exact coat I bought, the exact color. So this is the exact coat I bought, and it is expensive. I actually saw this coat at REI last year in an emerald green, and it was so beautiful. By the time I decided to buy it, it was pretty much sold out, so I couldn't get it. But my boyfriend ended up getting this coat for men. So the one that he got for men is not cropped. It's not a full length coat like this. It just ends and it has pockets up here and everything. It's just a shorter coat. And he says it's so warm and he loves it. Then in the summer, my sister found that coat in the exact color I wanted and bought it on sale at REI, and she also loves the coat. And now I'm like, this was my coat, the coat that I've been wanting, and then both of you guys have it and I don't. And I did look for other coats, but I kept coming back to this one. I just really love it. I love the pockets. It has a pocket in here that's covered by a little flap, and then there's a bigger pocket out here, and I completely love it. It is so warm. It's long. Mine's a little longer than this, and it might be a little big for wearing layers underneath, but I like the look of it a little oversized. So I am very, very happy with this, and you'll see how I ended up paying for this when I do my December wrap up, like my budget wrap up video. I did have the money for it. I had to pull from other categories, which is the beautiful thing about YNAB, and you'll see how I took care of that. The point is, this was definitely my largest purchase, and I am in love with it. All right, then my favorite purchase. I have two. I couldn't choose. I really was trying to figure out which one was right, but we're gonna go with two, and that's fine. So yes, the Patagonia coat because it's so beautiful, and then the Uniqlo blazer. I've been wanting this coat for so long that I couldn't not put it in my favorite purchase category, and I do love it. I love it. But the next thing is the Uniqlo blazer, and this is something that was not planned. My sister went in to Uniqlo to look at this blazer. She had seen reviews and was like, I want to try this on. And then what ended up happening is I ended up buying it, and it's this one. It's kind of like an oversized blazer. I just think it's so pretty. And this is obviously for work, or for in the spring I can use it as like a lighter jacket. And I actually got both of these colors because they both look really nice. So the olive one and then this dark gray one, you can see. And I really love the way it fits on me. I really like the look of blazers, but it's just never been a good fit for me. I've never found one that I've really loved on me, so I've never had one before. And now I have two, and I love them. I only bought one though. My boyfriend gifted me the other for Christmas, so thank you to him. And I'm really excited to start wearing this in January, next week, in a few days actually, whenever we go back to work on the 3rd. I'm gonna wear my brand new blazer, probably under my brand new coat. I'm gonna go to work all decked out in new stuff. But I really do like the way this looks. I think it's really nice for work, and it switches up my look because I wear a lot of cardigans and like pullover sweaters. So this is something a little different that will still keep me warm. So the next area is like a win for the month, and this was a little bit of a hard one for me because I did have a rough December, I had a rough November. It's just been a rough end of the year. So I was trying to figure out what was good. I mean, there were obviously good moments, and there's a few I can think of that I don't want to discuss or don't want to share because they're personal family things. So aside from that, what else was good? My sister came to visit. It was Christmas, extended time off at the end of the year. That was awesome. But I think one of the things I'm really proud of, and it's such a small one, is I canceled Pipsticks, my sticker subscription. I've had the subscription for 12 months. And I finally canceled it. It's only $18 a month, which is not a ton of money. It's not gonna save me all this money or change anything financially, but at this point I have so many stickers to use, and honestly I don't love every sticker sheet that comes in the subscription as much as I love it. I love most of them, but not every single one of them. I don't need to be paying $18 a month for stickers. It's a little silly. It's just something I enjoy. But I finally got around to canceling it, and I feel good. I've organized all my stickers. I'm ready to use them in my journal. So I think canceling it for now, at least, I think I'm going to leave it canceled for at least the first quarter. Hopefully all year though, because I have plenty of stickers to use. And if I want, I can always, not in January, because my goal this January is no personal shopping, but later on, if I see sticker sheets that come out, because they'll release them every month after they come out in the subscription, I'll just buy the individual sticker sheets and I don't have to have tons. And then the last thing, a financial problem area. Oh man. personal shopping. I mean, I bought a blazer that I wasn't planning on buying, but that's okay. I mean, it's not a crazy price, so that's good. The big issue was this jacket. I spent a ton of money. I hadn't planned for it, so I didn't have the money in my shopping category. The good news is I do have money from other categories to pull from. Like I said, we'll go over that in my budget recap video. So aside from that single item, I think I was good. But that item is so big that it really put me under in my shopping category. You'll see that shortly. Something that I really want to work on this year is just buying less stuff and just using what I have. I have a lot of things. I can use a lot of things. Personal shopping was a problem area. I'm hoping to get better at it. You know what? That is it for today's reset. It's a reset / recap. I don't really know. The reset part just comes from setting goals for the new month. And the recap part obviously is going over the previous month. I'm ready. I am ready for the new year. I hate that I put so much pressure on this like new year. It's so big and big plans or whatever, but I also love the feeling of starting fresh, of the big like fresh start feeling. Previous monthly resets have been on paper with my little Stalogy notebook, and you saw me writing things out. But I've decided to do it this way going forward because I have actually really been enjoying everything being digital. And I know the name of my channel is Gabby on Paper, but that's okay. That is okay. I don't care. I've really been enjoying the digital thing because I can access this from my phone at any time. Like I have the Google Sheets app on my phone and I can pull it up if I need to look at something or make notes for next month or something. I've also been enjoying the fact that I can film whenever I want. Since this is a screen recording, I don't have to worry about the sun and the lighting and all that. And that's always been an issue for me because of where our windows are. We don't really get a lot of like direct sunlight in here, which makes it really hard for lighting. So now that's not an issue, and it's made filming much more enjoyable, not having to worry about the time of the day and everything. And especially here in Chicago, like the sun sets so early. Today the sun is setting at 4:29. The days are starting to get a little longer, so it's later than it has been. But still, at 4:30, I'm not home from work yet, so it did make it a little hard. But now it's much more manageable doing it digitally. And I can keep track of everything here. Like I have my quarterly goals, January goals, and then I'll just add tabs for each of my monthly goals and recaps and stuff. Really liking the system. I think this is how it's going to be for all of 2023. We shall see. So thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.